It's very interesting to see how resilient Indian markets are, because if you talk about the implied open as well, it was indicating a downtick of around 60 to 65 points. But if you see right now, if you pull up Nifty 50, 24,695, so 24,700 is where Nifty is hovering at. Only a 16 points downtick is what you're seeing so far. Let's pull up Bank Nifty on the screens as well, and you'll see the resilience that does come. And there you go, 0.4% lower in terms of Bank Nifty. Let's pull up the sectoral heat map, because that will give you an idea of whether these export-oriented sectors are seeing that kind of pressure. There you go. The breadth absolutely seems in favor of the bears, but auto is one of the sectors which is seeing some smart moves today, in spite of the 25% tariffs that do remain in terms of auto sector and the auto ancillary companies as well. FMCG is seeing a good run, taking into consideration the festive demand and the GST benefits that could be coming in for this one as well. So consumption is also pretty strong. Healthcare, oil and gas and pharma are the other ones. What's actually trading under pressure is the consumer durable space, which is down. Bank Nifty is the second one, private banking space, and you have the defense pack, which is seeing profit booking for the second to the third consecutive session, and media continues to drift lower. Let's look at individual companies. If we can have the heat map in terms of Nifty 50 to understand the individual stock-specific action in terms of counters. Hero, Moto, HUL, iSure, M&M, Maruti, Bajaj Auto, a smart run coming in, and that's because of the festive season boost that we are seeing. Auto also, which is on the upfront. Shriram Finance has been having a weak day of trade again today. 3% downtick there. Grasim under pressure. ICICI Bank, HCL Tech, TCS are a few of the other names which are seeing that pressure that is building up. Apart from this, let's pull up the textile pack in trade today, because that is the one which has been seeing the heat. But now the government has also extended the import duty exemption on cotton till the 31st of December 2025. Initially, they had said it will be till September, but as a relief measure, it has been extended to the 31st of December. So KPR Mills, Keytex Garments, you have Pearl Global, Gokaldas Exports, Welspun Living, all are these counters which are seeing cuts, but it's majorly Keytex which is seeing maximum cuts to the tune of 5%. All the others are seeing cuts in that range of 1% to around 2% in trade. Apart from this, you have chemical companies like UPL, SRF, Naveen Fluorine. These are a few of the names which will also see pressure, but UPL is being resilient, 1% up move. SRF also trading in the positive, and Naveen Fluorine, which is pretty much on the borderline. Let's look at the gems and jewelry sector. So from names like Kalyan Jewelers, Titan, Rajesh Exports, all of these are the names which probably could see some bit of an impact, but there you go. So, if you talk about your tariff-related sectors, it's clearly telling you that the market is resilient. The additional 25% tariff that did come into effect yesterday is something that the markets have priced in, have absorbed, and that's the reason why you're not seeing a major downward reaction that's coming in on these names. So shrimp exporters as well, names like Avanti Feeds, Waterbase, these are names which do get impacted. The cuts are again just 2% on Avanti Feeds, not a major downtick there. Let's pick up a Waterbase on the screen as well, and that will tell you what Waterbase is also doing. So these are a few of the names that we should be looking at. Let's pull up Interglobe Aviation. There has been a block deal that has happened on the back of one of the promoters, that is Gangwal family, selling stake, and that's the reason why you're seeing a downtick of around 4% in terms of Interglobe Aviation right now. Let's look at real estate companies, because you have a Morgan Stanley note which is indicating that the residential sales have been robust in the month of July. So that should be a sector one should be watching out for. If you look at individual names from, Godrej Properties, Hubtown, Brigade Enterprises, Soba, all of these are in focus in today's day of trade. So there is some marginal pressure on that front as well. So that's with regards to overall markets. But let's once again just pull up Nifty 50 on the screens and the broader markets as well. The mid-cap 250, the mid-cap 150 and the small-cap 250, because that will tell you. Now the markets have started to see the cuts. 0.3% lower in terms of mid-cap 150. If you look at small-cap 250 as well, 0.5% lower. But what's interesting is the cut that has deepened further in terms of Nifty, which was somewhere trading flat. Let's just pull up Nifty 50 on the screens right now. You will see the kind of cuts that are coming in there. There you go, 0.5% now. So almost 130 to 140 points cut there. We've broken below that 24,600 mark. And this has been the trend that we've been seeing over the last couple of trading sessions, where your initial 2 to 3 minute sticks don't really give you the real picture in terms of where markets are concerned, and later on they actually tell you what's going on. And with this, it's very important to again revisit the Nifty 50 heat map to see what is building this kind of pressure right now. Let's pull up that one. There you go. Shriram Finance, 2%. HDFC Bank, another heavyweight. HCL Tech, Geo Financial Services, Infosys, ICICI Bank. If you can have the Nifty contributors, because that will tell you the companies which are putting pressure. There you go. HDFC Bank, a 31 to 32 points contribution coming into the cuts today, 25 points coming in from ICICI Bank, Infosys and Reliance Industries. In fact, Reliance Industries AGM is tomorrow, so ahead of the AGM, there is some bit of pressure that is building up in trade today. What's holding up is Eternal, HUL, Hiromoto, Asian Paint. It's mainly the consumption-driven sectors which are holding up, which is telling you that probably the festive demand is what has kicked in for the consumption pack. The GST benefits probably, which will start trickling in as well after the GST meet, and the announcements that do come in the first week of September is what giving you that kind of resilience. But it's mainly the banking sectors, because they do get impacted when the exports go down. So that's probably one of the reasons why you're seeing that kind of pressure that is coming in with regards to financials in name. But clearly IT also seeing some bit of pressure with the Infosys, which is contributing almost 14 to 15 points today. This cut. There you go. It's only Axis Bank which is trading in the positive, but apart from that, all your other private banking counters are in the negative. Let's pull up the PSU bank index as well, because that will give you an idea that versus between the private banking space and the PSU banking space, where is the pressure building on? PSU banking space down to the tune of almost 0.4%, and if you look at the components, all of them down 0.5% to almost 1.5% in trade. But your major cuts are coming in from the private banking space, and those are the ones which have that exposure when you talk about Forex, when you talk about the export side of it as well. 1.5% in terms of HDFC Bank. And to be noted, HDFC Bank is also adjusting somewhere with regards to where the bonus issue goes. So that is something that the markets need not discount. If we can just have the NSE 500 or the BSE 500 index to understand the impact that we are seeing in terms of the broader markets. Gujarat Pipavav, Interglobe Aviation and the block deal, eClerx, Century Plyboards, JK Cement. So it's a mix of sectors that are seeing a downward take. But MGL is up in trade 3.5%. Thermax is seeing a good day. Lemon Tree, on the back of an announcement with regards to one of the hotels, is seeing a positive move. Thana Platforms, Hiromoto, a few of the names which are in the positive. So an interesting day of trade so far. What is interesting right now is that not a major reaction or not a major downtick. There is some bit of resilience when you talk about your export-oriented sectors in spite of the tariffs that have kicked in, and we are down almost 150 points in trade right now. Over to you.
It'll also, how is the Indian rupee holding up to the dollar?
Absolutely. So if you talk about the Indian rupee, the expectation is that on the back of what is happening right now, the downtick in terms of the dollar, the weakness in the dollar is something which is expected to continue. And if you see right now as well, 87.58 is where the USD INR rate is at. In fact, the central bank has categorically said that they will come in if the tariffs do kick in, and that is what the RBI governor did mention at a FICCI press conference last week. And he said that, if the tariffs come in, we are going to step in to support the exporters. And that is what you're seeing right now as well. 87.58, I think this is the 6th or the 7th consecutive session where you're seeing a similar move when you talk about the rupee to the dollar right now.